in Arena quite often, but it is also great for executing a flag carrier. The three of them are likely to be focusing on offense to take down Sona on the opposing team, although it will be difficult with the support of Retribution Paladin, the extra utility. And then the offensive threat on the opposing side would be Jammu on that Balance Druid and Nala on the Rogue. So those two matchups, the Mage Rogue versus the Moonkin Rogue, we're really going to get to see which one is superior in this matchup. It's quite difficult to say ahead of the game, especially because this isn't the 10 versus 10 format that we see all of the time. It's the 6 versus 6, so your resources are a lot more limited. You're not going to be bringing as much damage overall, and it's interesting to see that the strategies are so much different. In the 10 versus 10, you see a lot of Destruction Warlock and Shadow Priest for the constant spellcaster pressure, but because you're limited to 6 players, you can't bring in that many casters. So if there was a Shadow Priest in this, you would just target them. They wouldn't be able to get too much pressure out, which is why you're not seeing a lot of the Shadow Priest or Destruction Warlocks. You've seen more on Holy Death Knight, Rogue, Warrior, and in these teams' cases, the Moonkin Rogue or the Mage Rogue. So high burst or high sustained melee that can't be disrupted as much seems to be the go-to for the 6v6 meta.
Yeah, and I've actually noticed that Maxi is not going to be running the Night Elf, so if we do see that Rogue Mage Druid kind of go off and attack, he would be susceptible to the Root Solar Beam combo, and there's also, the blind on the Rogue as well. So offensively, both teams have like some pretty nice win conditions. I still think that it's going to be interesting to see as well if the Red Pala can ever connect to Blizzo on the Demon Hunter. I feel like the Red Paladin is going to be a huge liability, but he's also going to be like a ticking bomb. If he ever reaches a flag carrier with stacks and he gets to just bubble and stay on top of him, he can take him out very quickly. So Blizzo needs to just kind of avoid him at all times in this game.
I think it's very impressive to see the multi-classing from Smoked Trout as well. Blizzo is a name that you'll recognize from the arena scene, known for his warrior and his windwalker, and now actually flag carrying, which is not what you would maybe expect from the arena players to pick such a pivotal role in the rated battleground scene, but he's been doing an excellent job. We see him on the far side of the map, sneaking across, looking for a quick pick. Divinovic is on his tail, and he is sapped up by Nala. Jammu closing in as well, and Blizzo could be in a lot of trouble. We see Mackie moving in to save the day just in the nick of time with Fnobbers. Good support, good peels off from the Mistweaver Restoration Druid. That is the advantage they bring with that extra mobility. In the meantime, we see Thasia getting crowd control into Bublovic. He has Berserking, so his damage is going to be increased, which means Sona could be in trouble as he is having a difficult time even just making it across the map, Zico.
Yeah, it looks like he's going to make his way towards that graveyard and jump up there. He should be okay for now, but if Tessia gets any greater Pyroblast off, he could be in big trouble. He's going to go ahead and jump even further away towards the flag room, and now he's a little bit far away from his healers, but he should be okay ultimately. Blizzo on the flip side has just picked up the flag as well. He's going down the tunnel. He even has a speed buff to help him out with that, and we do see a couple of players kind of just annoying Divinovic here over at ramp as well.
Yep, Divinovic having a bit of a difficult time connecting to his target. I'm curious to see which Demon Hunter is able to make it across midfield. Obviously, they're going to be kiting figure eights around the graveyard using the cliff to try and escape to safety. And the advantage that Smoke Trout's team brings is that the Restoration Druid with Wild Charge and the Mistweaver with Transcendence can actually portal up that Z-axis with their flag carrier, whereas the Paladin and the Shaman cannot. So we do expect the advantage to be for Smoke's Trout as they engage crowd control, immediately going after Sona, bringing him down below half. Both healers perfectly crowd controlled, but even still, maybe not enough stacks just yet. That 20%, meaning that this Demon Hunter Sona is taking 20% more damage, and as it gets higher, obviously, he continues to take increasingly more damage. Cyclone's at low health, denying the heals, and this is the crowd control that I was talking about from Smoked Trout. Sort of the pre-match period of time, that Cyclone and Polymorph from Thasia and Fnobbers is going to be critical to their team's victory. Their composition overall, I give them the edge. The only real surprise factor will be that Retribution Paladin. Perfect Hibernate from Fnobbers. Blind now on Bublovic. Once again, isolating Sona on that Demon Hunter, but he's just so far away from the fight. They're trying to make their way there while controlling the healers in midfield. In the meantime, we haven't really seen any pressure onto Blizzo just yet. He seems to be chilling. It's really Sona that's having a tough time. If they aren't able to kill off the DPS members in time and protect them, it could be difficult. Sona jumping up towards the graveyard. Smurtex is shadow stepping up. Will Sona be able to escape? He tries to pre-death from above on the jump. He almost got it there. That could have been critical to get a kill. Actually, I think that would have netted him a kill. 1 second off that preemptive move. Sona's still at low health and his healer's unable to recover. If they can connect to Sona, he will be in dire straits, but obviously an easier said than done task against the Vengeance Demon Hunter.
Yeah, and Tessie actually flanks him right now, so I think Smurtex should have a Shadow Step up pretty soon. Fnover's doing a great job crowd controlling everyone. Nice low Cyclone. If the Rogue, I think he can connect. If he connects here, they could easily take down Sona. Nice blind there, though, from Bigburstovic. Should be able to help Sona out in this situation. He's going to go ahead and leap towards the tunnel. Gets the Blessing of Freedom. Smurtex, though, might connect with the kidney shot. Doesn't manage to...
Ooh, we see Blizzo in a smoke bomb. Big attempt here by Nala. That extra damage from the Retribution Paladin could be the X factor for the team to get a kill. Blizzo needs to try and escape to safety using that trample, moving across the map at high speeds, looking for a jump here shortly. I would imagine if Nala connects, the Mistweaver is in a Cyclone, unable to heal. Blizzo's running up the ramp, desperately to escape to safety. Looks like he's managed to at least close the distance. Mackie likely to get up to his side here shortly. In the meantime, Sona on the opposite side of the map is still struggling to deal with Smurtex as polymorphs are secured onto the Restoration Shaman. We wait to see if crowd control can be utilized here on the Bigburstovic. Snobber's making his way back to Smurtex. Needs to make sure that Smurtex stays alive if they want to keep up their offense. He's quite far away, and Bigburstovic and Sona are doing good work towards Smurtex. Snobber's finally connecting. We see a blind onto Bigburstovic. Sona jumping over the fence to escape to safety, and Nala in trouble on offense. If they lose the Rogue on offense, they're going to lose all momentum, any real opportunity to kill Blizzo. This is a huge power play opportunity for Smoke Trout to get a kill on Sona. We now see the debuff at 100% increased damage taken, full advantage to Smoke Trout, and this is Danger Town for Bigburstovic.
Yeah, if Sona, he needs to get away from Smurtex as soon as possible. He's going to have another kidney shot ready any second. He cloaks actually for that route to try to get the Shadow Step kidney shot, but I don't think he's going to be able to connect to him at this point in time. Sona actually going back to not kite his healers here, and I think Smurtex is about to stun him up. Tessia here with Combustion, forcing out the Trinket. The stun on the Trinket, this could be easily the danger time for Sona as he goes down. They're going to return the flag, and now can we see if Blizzo can cap this? He's getting stopped by Nala. Potentially could be someone picking this up for him.
Yeah, if someone can pick up the flag, although at 120% increased damage taken, even if they can do so, that target is likely to die quite quickly if it is not the Vengeance Demon Hunter, as Blizzo still continues to make his way downtown. Can they pick up the flag to at least deny it? They do. Divinovic has picked it up, but he will be taking 130% increased damage. Even Blizzo on the Vengeance Demon Hunter may be able to find a kill onto that target. We see Wally doing his work there in the backline. Divinovic likely to go down, and he does. Flag cap for Smoke Trout, number one. Or sorry, my score screen is reversed here on the alliance. I do believe Smoke Trout capping first point here, and now they will have the advantage. However, if they are tied, I'm wondering if our rules are, if it's a tie, it goes to the person who capped most recently on live rules, but I'm not sure if it's a 1-1 cap, that's a tie. Sona currently still just getting wiped up, and Smoke Trout, just compositionally, they have the edge. There were some surprise factors early on towards Blizzo, but he was able to just navigate away, and I think having that, it's very vital to have a Mistweaver on these flag-carrying maps. It's, in my opinion, the only healer that can keep up with a Vengeance Demon Hunter, move across the map appropriately, and the Shaman and the Holy Paladin just fall behind in that regard.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think this is the downside as well of having a Ret against the Demon Hunter. I mean, you always have the threat of if you reach Blizzo, he's going to get deleted. But the problem is it's really, really hard to reach Blizzo. And now, speaking of that, Blizzo is mounting up, running towards the room, and he's going to go ahead and pick up the flag. We see a fight erupt here, and Orcs Don't Die. It's in big, big trouble, Sid.
I mean, Orcs Don't Die, it's in his name. Let's see if he can back it up here. Nala low on health as well in midfield, just getting owned by Walrix, getting caught out of position. Nala using the Vanish, escaping to safety for now, but if they can take out the Rogue, that is all of their offense effectively. The kidney shot is where you see the kill windows for each opposing team, so you can't afford to lose your Rogue. Nala's still in stealth, navigating across, maybe looking for an intercept to try and support, or try and intercept Blizzo. Nobody else backing him up, though. He's all up there just alone. Divinovic now making his way over. They go for the kidney shot. They're looking for the bursty kill. Mackie not in any crowd control. We need to see some control onto that Mistweaver, else it's going to be easy healing for Blizzo. Sona is still low on health in midfield as we see Thasia going after him. Bigburstovic, though, able to back him up, moving towards the graveyard. Nala still in trouble. Once again, you have to make sure your Rogue stays alive. Nala is so low, trying to shadow step over to Smurtex. who's in range really to save him. Bublovic wants to go heal Sona, but Nala's going in the opposite direction. He's going to have to make a choice. Now he's in a polymorph. Orcs Don't Die is trying to support. Smurtex is still low on offense on the opposing side, although unlikely to go down as he does recover. We do finally see some crowd control onto Mackie and Fnaubers. Very important to get crowd control onto the healers in this particular matchup. It seems unlikely that the Vengeance Demon Hunters will go down elsewise before at least around a 100% damage stack. So look for that box next to the health. If there's a number counting down, it means that that player is crowd controlled, unable to commit any actions. So for the healers, that would be saving their teammates. Fnaubers is in a Cyclone. Jama with some good crowd control, but Nala unable to really escape. Walrix on this Unholy Death Knight is just focused so much on disruption. He's often with his team on defense. It's an interesting strategy. Nala likely to go down here, and he does. That's going to be all offense lost. Now Sona in a lot of trouble on the run with Bublovic and Orcs Don't Die. Deja and Smurtex, that Rogue Mage synergy. It's effectively the two of them against two healers in the Vengeance Demon Hunter. Can the Mage Rogue synergy be enough? Fnaubers is now moving up. Now it's going to be a Mage Rogue Druid, and that is a lot of crowd control, Zico.
Yeah, and Sona looks like he's going to be making it out here with Bublovic, and that was actually the Blessing of Protection as well there when Nala went down, so they're not going to have that cooldown available to kind of help out later on in the offense. Now we see a push finally happening on towards Blizzo. Sona looks like he's going to be in complete chill mode. Smurtex chasing after him, but I don't think he's going to be able to reach him anytime soon, and even if he does, it's just Fnaubers there, no mage yet to back him up. On the flip side, Blizzo as well has made it to that classic spot at the graveyard that we see these demon hunters go to. He's kind of just hanging out as well, trying to kite an incoming attack here. We're going to see Divinovic actually making his way there. That scary red pod, and if he can ever reach Blizzo, he could be in big trouble. Now, Blizzo is trying to make his way away, and Nala actually reaches him. If Divinovic can bubble and just go for it, he might go down.
He is going to fall. Sona is Cyclone. Fnaubers is trying to save the day by crowd controlling for his team to be able to pick up the flag. They need to prevent Sona from making his way over or kill him right now. Bublovic and Orcs Don't Die have no Gladiators medallions, but Smurtex and Thesia are moving towards the flag room, at least to try and deny the cap for now. Will they be able to is the question. This is very surprising from Bigburstovic, that Retribution Paladin paying its weight in gold there to get a kill onto Blizzo. They've managed to at least pick up the flag on Smurtex, but he is taking 100% increased damage. If any member of the team can intercept him, he will easily be going down. They still have good control on Sona. And the other thing is that if your rogue is carrying the flag, you're going to lose all offense. You're never going to kill Sona without the rogue there. So Smurtex needs to transfer this flag over to Blizzo as soon as possible, but that's a dangerous thing to do when the opposing team is surrounding you to drop the flag. The enemy team can return it. Smurtex is trying to get some damage out onto Divinovic rather than jumping down into the dangerous center field where Jamu is sitting in stealth on that balance druid. And it could just be Incarnation, couple Star Surges, and Smurtex is going to just get taken out. And if Sona's in position to cap, this could be a 1-1 score, and it's looking a lot more evenly matched than in the earlier parts of this game. I'm very curious to see if Bigburstovic can pull this off. Jamu making his way over. That balance druid with the Star Surges is going to be very important to kill Smurtex. Smurtex is trying to transfer the flag. Can they get the transfer over to Blizzo safely? Smurtex is stunned up. It's a risky move to do it, but I don't think they can heal a rogue through this type of damage. Life Cocoon connects. It needs to be enough. They're trying to kill at the same time. Nala low on health. Maybe they can just kill Nala. If they can just wipe them up, even with Smurtex holding the flag, this is very impressive from Smoke Trout.
Yeah, and it looked like Smurtex was actually lagging a little bit there, but he appears to be playing, so he's going to be running across, and I actually can't believe that he's still alive. He should be dead in that stun. So much healing, and they actually killed down Nala as well. That should be the majority of the offense. They also swapped the flag there, so this is looking really good now for Smoke Trout if they can get an attack going.
All right, Smoke Trout, it was looking like dire straits there, but Smurtex able to get the flag despite a little bit of lag, able to transfer it over to Blizzo. Now he can go on offense, which is exactly what Smoke Trout need to find victory. We see Walrix on this Death Knight is trying to focus on crowd controlling and peeling this Retribution Paladin from getting across the map with Chains of Ice. Nala is in stealth, but we see Sona stun locked up, and it's a Rogue Mage Druid. The crowd control is endless. Sona gets crushed. Blizzo is crossing map. There's no one there. Jamu is out of position, but Blizzo is slowed from the flag pickup, so maybe Jamu can make it over. He's got Berserking and potentially take Blizzo out before he is able to cap It's looking unlikely. Nala not able to get there, and somehow, some way, Smoke Trout able to pull that back together, even with the Retribution surprise kill on Blizzo earlier. MVP Smurtex with the transfer, despite even having a little bit of technical difficulties, now leads 2-0, and with only 6 minutes and 50 seconds left on the clock, I'm not sure if Bigburstovic can pull this off anymore.
Yeah, it was looking like they could tie it up for us, but wasn't the case. Now we see Blizzo caught up in a kidney shot, but he's going to be able to just sit that one through, get a couple of heals, and now he's going to be kiting everybody, including Divinovic. He needs to always stay away from Divinovic. He gets a nice little fear on him, and he keeps making his way down actually towards the middle, and he's going to go and pick up the next flag. Now we see Sona on the flip side in the tunnel as well, taking the speed buff, and he's making his way as well. You see Nala actually in big trouble here. He might go down with that flag swap. He manages to swap it over to Sona, and he gets a couple of hits from Bablovic. He should be fine. But Tessia is waiting in that tunnel. That tunnel, not the place where you want to be if you're Sona. He's going to need to jump out of there as quickly as possible.
Yeah, beautiful flag transfer. Even though he's in the tunnel, a confined space for the Demon Hunter, I think with no stacks that he should more than easily get out, outside of maybe some greater pyroblasts and perfect crowd control. I'm curious to see if they can execute on that. We do see Nala taking quite a hit, once again going after the rogues, trying to remove that offensive playmaker from the opposing teams. Smurtex is stunned up as Nala desperately tries to escape. Bablovic sitting through extended crowd control, but now broken out and free to heal Sona. Fnaubers is just trying to slow. I love Walrix's play on this Death Knight. Normally we see him on the Warlock, but his Death Knight, his Chains of Ice, his positioning defensively with the team has been perfect, relying on the Rogue Mage Druid for offense. I really like the strategy that Smoke Trout have brought to the table here on this Warsong Gulch play. Nala still getting targeted down by Smurtex. Bablovic moving over to save. Holy Light connects once. We have to see if Orcs Don't Die can get there. Nala going for a blind onto Smurtex. That's going to remove almost all offensive capability. Nala, he's going to be desperate now to try and find any openings for the team. Orcs Don't Die is in a Polymark. Divinovic getting swapped too. Big Pyroblast in from Thasia. Thasia really spreading his damage, trying to catch the healers off guard. Cyclone's out from Fnaubers. Nala still just getting punished by Walrix. Sona's in the safe spot for now, far away from the fight, but if Smoke Trout can clean up the team fight in mid and then push forward, he will not be, and it'll be a clean sweep 3-0 if that is the case. Now, Jamma, he's got Berserking. He's in stealth, and he's sneaking towards Blizzo. Curious to see if the nice spectral sight from Blizzo, he finds Jammu, pulls him out of stealth. He's not going to get caught off guard by that, but maybe still Mackie with the Transcendence in the line of sight, able to connect some heals, fake cast the kick of Nala, and unless Jamma can get a Cyclone here, Nala already used Blind, so Mackie will be sitting comfortably. And there's the Wild Charge from Fnaubers. This is the advantage. Whereas Orcs Don't Die, he's a Shaman. He's just stuck on the bottom. He can't go anywhere. Fortunately, they aren't moving the fight. They should move the fight away from here on the ledge. That way Orcs Don't Die can't heal whatsoever. Divinovic dipping low. Walrix is dipping low as well on the opposing side of the map. Could be a bit of a kill trade here between the teams as we come down to the final 4 minutes.
Yeah, and that was a really nice Illidan's grasp as well, throwing everybody off. And now Nala caught up in a kidney shot, and he should be in big trouble here. He might actually go down completely. We're going to see if they have the damage to back it out. They do. Smurtex claims that one. Now Divinovic as well. Warwick has just been annoying him the entire game. He's going to force out the Divine Shield here from Divinovic. So that's a big cooldown as well that Blizzo won't have to worry about later on if he decides to go aggressive. And then we see Sona as well, just chilling in the flag room, kind of just staying back, trying to survive, give his team as much time as possible to take down Blizzo. And Blizzo, he looks like he is fine, but there is a regroup happening here. Jammu and Nala probably going to initiate another attack pretty soon as we see Divinovic go down. So they're staggering the reses here. I really don't see a comeback happening here. I mean, they have 2 minutes and they need to wait for Divinovic's res as well.
Yeah, they've got to regroup, go for a push, but even then, at best, I see them getting one more cap. There's not enough time, and I mean, Fnaubers even knows that. That's why we don't see him on offense. He is focused on defense. It's all about stalling for Smoke Trout. They'll have an easy victory so long as they can prevent them from connecting to Blizzo. The Vengeance Demon Hunter is just an all-utility belt flag carrier with the Spectral Sight to see any stealth attacks. Blizzo has denied Jammu from surprise attacks, which would be the X factor that their team brings at the Balanced Druid. And Blizzo just denies it with a Spectral Sight and the perfect kiting between the Mistweaver Druid and Vengeance Demon Hunter. I mean, they've just got the entire package. So they're going to have to rely on some pretty big hits or maybe Blizzo's misplay. But even if they do manage to get a kill, they still have to cap one more flag after that. with 2 minutes left on the clock. They're going to make one final push, but Orcs Don't Die is caught in center field. Big Greater Pyroblast. They're going to be down a healer on their push, I do believe, with Walrix and Deja just having free reign on Orcs Don't Die. Maybe he can make it out alive. Not going to be able to. It's do or die to kill Blizzo. We see Blind on Fnobber, Solar Beam on Mackie, perfect crowd control by Jamu onto both healers. That should potentially net them a kill. If they had this type of play earlier on, potentially they could have found victory, but Blizzo doesn't even go down to that. Mackie is going to save the day. Knobbers and Mackie chasing down Blizzo. Ring of Peace denying entrance to the room. Perfect knockback positioning here from Smoke Trout. Just total domination in game number 1 as we see Smoke Trout tapping out, members leaving the match. But now it will be their map selection, and this is the thing between the arena teams that we see so dominantly in the arena scene. When we go to other maps like Silver Shard Mines, which focuses a lot more on strategy in the rated battleground scene, that's where we see them start to fall apart. So I'm more than interested to see what map we go to from Bigburstovic. They definitely have the potential to take out Smoke Trout, but in this match in particular, Smoke Trout just able to recover from their mistakes quite easily and played a solid match.
So a dominating victory there for Smoke Trout, although it wasn't really dominating until that second cap.
Yeah, actually we saw this Shadow Priest pick from Sona yesterday in their Gilneas games, and we had some mixed results with it. So I think they lack a little bit of finishing potential. Like Jamu, if he gets interrupted a lot on that Warlock, it's not going to be great for them. So we're going to see how that pans out. But definitely a couple of bursty targets on the side of Smoke Trout. And I'm a little bit surprised to see Blizzo actually staying on the Demon Hunter. I was expecting him to maybe go on the Windwalker Monk here. Windwalkers are just so durable. They're really good with how much burst they have. But Blizzo feels, I guess, that the Demon Hunter is just going to be able to carry orbs maybe a little bit better. And I guess they want to use Warrix and Blizzo as their orb carriers with this composition. Maybe the Boomkin as well.
Yeah, Balancer I think is a decent flag carrier, especially with the increased healing received in bear form, as Lurtex is likely running. We see Sona on the far side of the map picking up an orb for the team. Usually we don't see the orb carriers pick up this early. They usually battle in mid and then pick up, so this could be a bit risky for either team should they get completely wiped up. Very interested to see. We see them connect onto Sona. Can they save them in time? Cooldowns exchanged. Sona in the dispersion is soaking up a ton of damage, but multiple Gladiators Maledicts incoming onto Sona. Lurtex gets bursted out of nowhere. Huge hit. Big advantage for Bigburstovic, as Divinovic is going to pick up the orb once again if they can get a kill on Sona. No dispersion to protect him for some time. Now at 90% increased damage taken. Deja getting eradicated. I would say the team fight is heavily in favor of Bigburstovic. If they can clean this up, then they should be able to start establishing a point lead. 3 members of the team low on health, and this composition is looking devastating. Spirit Link Totem, well trade there, easy recovery, but even still, Sona at half. Deja getting bursted. Mana really taxed heavily for Knobbers. Sona likely to go down here as the orb is dropped. Who can pick it up? Blizzo on that Demon Hunter making his way over, but Nala trying to intercept, gets imprisoned. Blizzo gets rooted, gets dispelled instantly, but Nala will pick up first, and despite being behind on points, with that pickup now and 2 orbs, they could come back into the fight. We do see Divinovic the target, and with Orcs Don't Die and a stun is going to fall. Now only with 1 orb. Blizzo making his way across as well as Mackie trying to pick it up, but it looks like Jamu is able to pick up the orb once again. The orb pickups definitely in favor of Bigburstovic.
Yeah, that was such a clutch pickup there for Jamu. He actually got incapacitated, and then they broke it, unfortunately. So that allowed him to go and pick that up. And Nala now, with the orb, is taking huge amounts of damage. I think he potentially could be going down as well as Jamu. This could be 2 orb advantage, but no, immediately drops the orb and repicks that up. Sona now should have his dispersion as well. Honestly, this is so expertly played here by Bigburstovic. The 2 paladins as well, making so big impact in that first fight with all the cooldowns that they add on top of that Shadow Priest dispersion, and it's going to net them a massive lead as we see finally 1 orb getting picked up here by Warrix.
Yeah, and that's a big lead to try and surmount over. Can they pull it off? Sona in a stun lock, in a bit of trouble. If there was an opportunity for Smoke Trout, it would be here and now. They do have a significant mana advantage. Potentially they could fully wipe the team if they can maintain that moving forward. Sona is likely to drop the flag as we see Lurtex in position to pick it up, but Sona just refuses to die, and now Lurtex is out of position to do damage, and Walrix is in trouble. Huge hits incoming, somehow managing to recover. The darkness dropped by Blizzo, immuning the incoming pressure and saving his teammate. Deja stunned in it as well, but now they come out, they connect, Void Shift over to Bumblevic, buying a couple of seconds, but Sona falls. Who's able to pick up the flag? Lurtex is able to pick it up first over Nala, as Nala is rooted up. Great crowd control. Now Lurtex making his way back into midfield. It's going to be a dog pile in center for all of this fight. Neither team is afraid to go head-to-head. Walrix has fallen. Kills onto both sides. Mana's almost totally tacked. Fnobber's really the only one with any left. Blizzo moves over, gets the orb pickup, but Divinovic is right on top of him. Rebukes Mackie, denying some heals. Fnobber's healing by himself right now as Mackie's crowd controlled. Does get dispelled out of the incoming Hammer of Justice. Chaos Bolt's flying in towards Lurtex. That bear farm, super effective at soaking magic damage, just soaking damage in general, but Nala has now connected. Deja's on his back, try and peel away. It may not be enough. Diminishing return kidney shot, but it doesn't even matter. Green Orb is down. Divinovic's making his way over, and Red Paladins aren't known for their mobility, but maybe he can make it. He's stunned up by Blizzo. Ring of Peace denies it, but Sona comes in from the side from the graveyard to pick up the orb, continuing their advantage. Blizzo is in desperation in center field. Life Cocoon from Mackie appears to be enough to stabilize him for now. Deja is trying to find a kill onto Sona by himself. Orcs Don't Die sitting down for a drink. He managed to get some mana. Very important for the team to stay in the fight. Blizzo will fall, and the lead continues to develop for Bigburstovic. It's crazy to see these teams so evenly matched. I would have imagined that the well-veteraned arena players would be just demolishing their foes here in this particular matchup, but it's the opposite.
Yeah, it's been so nice to see how fast they are at re-picking up that flag, and as I say that, Walrix actually makes it through to pick it up, so a little bit good here for Smoke Trout that they finally got that onto him. But on the flip side, Sona as well has the flag. Now Sona has a couple of more stacks, so he could potentially go down, but they have a lot of cooldowns to work through as they force out that dispersion. They still have some of those Holy Paladin cooldowns potentially to work with as well. Walrix doesn't have his anti-magic shell as well for a little bit, so he's going to be taking big damage here from Divinovic on that Red Paladin. If he can stay on target, Warwick surely should go down here. And the question is, are they ready to pick it up? Who's going to get it? Blizzard's making his way over there. He gets Death Card. Nala gets the flag pickup. Really nice here once again.
Ooh, Blizzo in trouble. Well, Nala has increased damage from that orb, but Mackie once again saving the day. Orcs Don't Die in a bit of trouble here in midfield, trying to recover. Should be able to, no one on him. We see Chaos Bolts flying in towards Fnobbers as Jamu tries to set up a swap, killing the healer. Now totally tapped on the side of Smoke Trout. Mana in favor of Bigburstovic. Points in favor of Bigburstovic. Likely going to be going to a game 3, but Nala in a bit of trouble. They blind up Blizzo, denying his reconnect. Trying to hold out for a little bit longer. Lurtex stunned up. He's in trouble. There's no mana on the healers. Lurtex goes down. Deja in position though. Picks up the orb instantly, but Divinovic on that Retribution Paladin's hunting him. Deja escapes with that sprint. Mackie ports out. He's sitting down for a drink, but that means he can't heal. Fnobbers is in stealth on the map as well, so there's no healers in mid, which means that they could get wiped out, but if they don't get mana, they're going to lose anyway. Fnobbers gets a little bit, moves back in, but not in time. Deja's going to fall. Advantage still in favor of Bigburstovic. Mackie's trying to get some mana. Sona picks up the orb. Huge lead now for Bigburstovic. You see silence on Fnobbers as his Buyer's Medallion has been worked through. Mackie's going to have to be the MVP healer, but he's in a fear. Nala in a bit of trouble in midfield. He could get taken out by Blizzo, holding on by a thread. Chaos Bolt's onto Walrix as he's trying to make it out and deny Divinovic from an orb pickup, potentially. Lurtex in position. He's going to pick it up. Potentially an opportunity for comeback, but they're just so far off at this point. There's still not enough mana. Potentially Smoke Trout needed to go for drinks sooner. It's just total chaos here towards the final seconds, but likely at this point that Bigburstovic is going to be taking it. They need a miracle. Sona's at 90% increased damage. A lot of damage, but Mackie saves the day. Perfect timing, but Fnobbers is still totally tapped. It's only one healer, and there's 3 damage dealers. Mackie moving over. Fnobbers not able to find it. Sona goes down. Lurtex goes down. Very limited point income now at this point, but with such a deficit, how are you going to do it, Smoke Trout? You would have to pick up both orbs right now and never die for the rest of the match. But they've done it. Both healers, though, have the flags, and both healers have no mana.
Yeah, this is trouble time for Fnobbers as he is making his way down to the middle in that bear from trying to tank out a few hits. You see Maxi, he's porting out of the middle, which means he's only going to be generating 1 point for his team. He needs to get back down there. Orcs Don't Die, trying to hex him, trying to zone him off here from healing Fnobbers, and Fnobbers should go down as a result of that, and he does. Blizzo, though, very quick with the repick up here for Smoke Trout. Maxi needs to get down down into the middle. This stall-based strategy is not really going to work for them, but at the same time, everyone on the side of Bigburstovic is waiting there in the middle. The stacks are just ramping up right now for Smoke Trout, and they are going to go down if they don't make the points count here. You can see him, Blizzo, making his way down to the middle, trying to kite around, trying to survive, and he gets the rain from above in the middle. Beautiful play here by Blizzo, but Maxi, a lot of stacks on him. Preemptive life cocoon. Is it going to be enough, Sid?
I don't know if it's going to be. Blizzo comes down. Who's going to get the pickup? It's all about the pickup. Lurtex gets it. They're denying him, but you do get points for kills. So potentially Bigburstovic could win just on getting kills. Lurtex gets clotheslined with the Retribution Paladin smacking him down. Unlikely to survive. Fnobber's trying to save the day. He's got full mana but gets hexed. Lurtex needs a dispel on this hex. He's not getting dispelled on the hex. Deja is still low on health. Fnobber sits through that, and Lurtex is likely to die as a result. He is going to fall, and Sono with the pickup, and likely to be the match here as Deja falls. There's going to be no offense, and any amount of income at this point with such a huge lead is going to take it. Big mistakes there on Lurtex. He didn't want to lose the defense of the bear form, but he had to dispel his healer out of that hex. They may have been able to pull it off. They paused the points for so long to try and keep their team alive in this tournament, but Bigburstovic are going to be taking it here on Temple of Kot Magoo. We're going to Game 3.
Wow, I don't think we've seen a better Kot Mogu played by a team yet this year at 6v6. That was masterful from Bigburstovic, especially that first team fight. I mean, they went in there and they wrecked face, instantly getting 2 orbs there, and just a way that they were able to quickly get a kill, and then as they killed, right at the very end, they were there for the orb pickup, and then just like, wow, I mean, crazy stuff. But
no changes in terms of healers. Fnobber's still in Druid, Mackie's still in Mistweaver, Bublovic's still in Holy Paladin, and Orstone Die in Resto Shaman. And as Zika was kind of pointing out in the post matches, that Bigburstovic, their advantage is that their defensive cooldowns are incredibly powerful, almost certainly never going to die through them, but it's a limited amount and they're longer, so you have to wait longer to use them again. Whereas Smoke Trout, their cooldowns are not necessarily guaranteed survival, but they can rotate them more frequently. And really, Bigburstovic stay true to their name, not only with damage, but defense as well. Seeing these strategies go head to head, I really want to see who plays on defense here. Bublovic is actually capping the flag, but Nala is sitting back. That means Bublovic is going to be slightly behind getting to the team fight. Bigburstovic may regret that moving forward.
Yeah, and we saw Nala yesterday actually made so many good plays there on that defense. So we're going to see if anybody tries to go over there. It looks like Smirtix right now is making his way towards Waterworks as we see a fight initiated here. Tessia getting locked down here, trying to get out some greater Pyroblast, but a lot of interrupts here on the side of Smoke Trout. We see Sona as well, caught up in some Cyclones, some CC. Divinovic, he's going to be the focus here. And usually we actually see Bublovic as the main target for Smoke Trout and the other teams in those team fights. It usually pays off targeting the Holy Paladin, but right now Fnobber's going to crowd control him up, and they are instead going to put their focus towards Orcs Don't Die. Not going to be able to find much going on there as he stands in a meteor as well to avoid CC. It just looks like they are going to be going after this ret for now.
All right, points slightly in favor here for Smoke Trout by just 1 point. Slightly delayed cap there by Bigburstovic, which actually might put them on a bit more of a clock. You see cooldowns traded out, and Sona in a bit of a trouble early on. Greater Pyroblast being channeled. Denial by Orcs Don't Die. Greater Pyroblast and Chaos Bolt going to be high priority, but they make a swap. Blizzo sees an opportunity, but he's overextended. Very good swap to Blizzo. Definitely want to be paying attention to any melee going after your healers. When they overextend, they become the best target to attack. Blizzo can't keep up the chase. Unlikely to be able to keep up the chase on the Orcs Don't Die. Instead, switching targets to Bublovic. Walrick's backing him up with a Chaos Bolt. Fnobbers moves in with the Haymaker, knocking Orcs Don't Die away from the fight and potentially into a Cyclone. Great cycle here on Orcs Don't Die. Bublovic is isolated. He has to heal all by himself. Jamu is trying to slow down the pressure with fear onto Thasia. It is pausing it out, but Thasia got a counterspell. Bublovic still can't heal. Orcs Don't Die has to save the day. Is this going to be the Vital Spirit Link Totem? Doesn't look like it. Not enough damage to force over just yet. Thasia is now overextended. Caught into a Capacitator Totem. Chaos Bolts are flying in. Nice catch by Jamu. That is going to get them an Ice Block. Great play by Bigburstovic.
Yeah, Orcs don't die there. If he didn't win share that polymorph, he would have been in big trouble, and big Divinovic would have gone down. But instead, he manages to stop that and kind of turn everything around with that beautiful cap totem as well. We see Sona again caught up in a counterspell. They're doing a pretty good job here at Smoke Trout, trying to shut down that Shadow Priest sustain damage, just crowd controlling Sona as much as possible, and not really playing into that defense of the Shadow Priest. Orcs don't die now, taking quite a bit of damage. If Tessia can get a polymorph, it could be big trouble. Nice spell here onto Bublovic. Orcs don't die though, sneaking in a nice hex here onto Tessia. He could still be in big trouble. He might go down right here, Sid.
Beautiful, but that demonic gateway, I actually wanted to highlight where the demonic gateways are. So for Bigburstovic, it goes over the river up Z-axis. You're almost never going to be able to chase the target after they've taken that. Fnobber's in a bit of trouble here, though, by Divinovic on that Retribution Paladin, caught into a full Hammer of Justice, silence, perfect cross crowd control, good execution overall by Bigburstovic as they desperately try and get a kill, but they're not going to get it. They get denied. But the demonic gateway positioning from both teams goes across a river. You're never going to be able to catch anyone that escapes using that tool. So great positioning by both teams in terms of escape. Mana significantly in favor of Bigburstovic, but I would say pressure overall in favor of Smoke Trout. That's going to be attributed to the greater Pyroblast Chaos Bolt combo with the extra crowd control most certainly. But if they can just stay alive and tap Fnobbers on mana, you may have to use the Demonic Gateway to get a drink and then not have it to escape later on. They are positioned far back at the Demonic Gateway. Fnobbers is trying to move over. Very curious to see if they can pull it off. Bigburstovic, they're the ones really on the clock because it might only be a 1-point lead, but that 1 point is going to cap 1 second faster. So Bigburstovic have to win the fight. It's not going to be a tie. So if they can't manage to get a kill, it's going to be curtains. Fnobbers has managed to sneak away, regenerate full mana, so the mana advantage that they had established has now been lost, and it's looking more troublesome for Bigburstovic. They're trying to get some surprise damage onto Walrix, but he's able to deflect with a double Mortal Coil of his own. Totally denied. Both teams begin to stabilize, and if you're Bigburstovic, you may start to consider ghosting your node and maybe trying to send your rogue to ninja a base, or even just bring them into the team fight because they have to win, even though it's only 1 point. That slightly delayed cap on the side of Bigburstovic could lose them the game.
Yeah, and they're going to definitely have to contend with that. But for now, they have actually been losing the team fight. It feels like Bigburstovic, they haven't really been able to find a good target for them. They've been going after Warwicks, and he even uses Unending Resolve offensively. And they have been trying to do a couple of swaps to Fnobbers, but it's not really worked out for him. They forced out the Ice Block of Tessia, but they haven't really gone back to him either. And now Tessia casting out a couple of Focus Greater Pyroblasts right there, and he's going to throw them at Jamu, who doesn't have a shield wall. A nice counterspell there secured. He's hard casting a Pyroblast though, which is a little bit strange there. A bit of a misplay there. Orcs don't die though. Gonna get away to safety. He should be fine. I would like to see Fnobbers maybe push in and try to double crowd control these two healers and go after one of the DPS, switch it up a little bit, because it feels like the team fight has gone a little bit stale. Divinovic caught up in a little bit of poly spam. Sona finally getting quite a bit of damage out, and as long as Fnobbers keeps getting these drinks, it feels like Smoke Trout can just kind of withstand this this team fight potential that they brought here on side of Bigburstovic.
Crowd control engagement here by Bigburstovic, as it looks like they want to go after Mackie, but not able to find the kill. Deja in midfield, Jamu trying to free cast, Blizzo rolls over. Blizzo is going to focus on disruption. I mean, if I was Smoke Trout, I would almost just focus solely on setting up drinks safely, maintain your mana, and just hold. Even with 1 point advantage, all you have to do is hold. Although now with crowd control to Bublovic, Dragon's Breath 1 second too late, but it may not matter. Void Shift from Sona is going to save Orcs Don't Die, but the Holy Paladin Bublovic is interrupted. Double interrupt timing by Deja and Walrix. Perfect momentum here to get a kill. Orcs Don't Die in trouble. Bublovic able to save the day for now and recover. Polymorph onto Sona. I almost don't like that. Walrix is actually Chaos Bolting him. Sona may have just died there if that Polymorph with Sona wasn't casted. I'd be a little bit angry if I was Walrix right now. That might be a dead Shadow Priest. Bit of a miscommunication despite stellar setup earlier on. Now Jamma is free casting towards Walrix. Orcs Don't Die in a bit of trouble. Blizzo just crushing him behind the room. Bublovic cycloned up. Perfect crowd control, and now even with that 1 point advantage, we are likely to see them wiped up. Bublovic has a lot of work to do all by himself. Demonic Gateway, but he's now left his team behind on the flag. Deja's trying to blink. You can't blink up the cliff, Deja. I mean, maybe he's just going to play goalie and polymorph Bublovic if he tries to make his way back to the fight and then wipe up everybody in mid. Curious to see if Orcs Don't Die, if they picked up his insignia. Maybe if Orcs Don't Die tries to run in. Bublovic is moving across the map. He's almost looks like he's trying to abandon the team fight entirely. He's going to make his way wrap around, but Sona's already down, and Smoke Trout have control of the team fight here at Waterworks, and if you're Bigburstovic, you got to make a big play. You're going to have to take a big risk. And I think it's going to involve bringing your rogue into the fight, and it's going to be up to Smurtex to realize if that situation is occurring. We see Orcs Don't Die getting intercepted by Fnobbers, bash into Cyclone so far away. Bubblevic and a Polymorph, both healers. Haymaker on the gateway. It doesn't do... I was actually curious to see how the interaction worked. It doesn't do anything, apparently. Jamma, Divine, Ovic, low on health, but Bubblevic sneaks in a heal. He's able to get there just in time to keep the team alive. Somehow, they've managed to at least scramble the team fight back to a stable position. They weren't able to cap the flag, but they're still 1 point ahead. So Bigburstovic have to set up for a kill to win. Otherwise, they're just going to lose. It would be such a crippling defeat to lose off 1 point.
Yeah, not exactly how evenly matched we were expecting these teams to be. We knew it was going to be close, but a 1 point win would definitely be some kind of record here. And we see Orcs Don't Die. He's going to go ahead and activate his Astral Shift. He's going to be completely fine here. Thessia is going to realize he's not going to die, so he's going to go ahead and crowd control him a little bit, going after Bigburstovic right now. But Bigburstovic has been having great positioning as we see another swap here to Snowburst. He gets caught up a little bit there, but he should stabilize here using his Gladiator's Medallion. Full CC chains here onto Divinovic. They've been doing a good job here on Smoke Trout, kind of crowd controlling Divinovic, crowd controlling Sona, knowing that these are two very susceptible to CC targets, making sure that they shut them down because they provide so much damage and utility as well. So pretty good team fight so far from Smoke Trout, and that's why they have been kind of taking people down, but they need a complete wipe here so that they can actually extend their lead. I mean, despite having 1 point ahead, it doesn't feel that safe to just be 1 point ahead. If you big swap into Bigburstovic, he might potentially go down from this combustion of Tessia, but he's going to gate safety once again. That gateway,
I don't know! He's on 1%. He managed to outskirt Deja, was just trying to finish him off at the final seconds, but not able to do it, surviving on sub 5% health. A close call. Bigburstovic's healer lineup doing work right now to stay alive in this fight and keep their team going to desperately try and pull back this 1 point deficit. Knobber's getting blasted in midfield by Jamma with a couple Chaos Bolts, but Mackin in the backline should more than easily be able to recover him. Thasia lining up a Greater Pyro Blast. Who is that going to be on? It looks like they want to go into Bubblevic with it. Do they have the backup to support it? Double Shadow Fury denies the reconnect from 2 members. Bubblevic immediately bouncing back to full health. No real crowd control just yet. A Fear finally onto Bubblevic, but disrupted instantly. Knobber's mana not looking too healthy. He's going to be dashing around towards the back end of the house. Is anyone in position to stop him from drinking? They try and cross, but he gets blasted in center field. Huge damage onto Orcs Don't Die. Bubblevic saves the day once again. Somehow, some way, these two healers doing work. I mean, you're fighting Walrix, you're fighting Blizzo, you're fighting BlizzCon competitors. I mean, this is an insane lineup to be going head-to-head against, and they're still keeping it up despite the Titaness opponents that they've got. Can they pull it off? Just one team wipe and one cap could swing this fight into their favor, but they've been on the back foot constantly. Orcs Don't Die, hovering at very low health. Bubblevic in crowd control. Infernal in from Jamma, that peels up Blizzo, but even despite that, Orcs Don't Die in so much trouble trying to fake cast some interrupts. Spirit Link Totem is required. Blizzo Ring of Pieces it, not able to connect the entire team. But Bubblevic is now finally out of crowd control. We do see some momentum here for Bigburstovic as Walrix is low, getting blown up. Mackie saves him with the life cocoon. Bigburstovic, they're still holding on to dear life to try and pull this off. We're tied 1-1. The winner of this advances in the upper bracket. The loser goes down to the lower bracket, a lot on the line. Knobbers recovering from some big hits. Good support from Walrix. Both these teams are so evenly matched that I actually can't believe that this is potentially going to come down to a 1 point advantage.
Yeah, it looks like that's going to be the case for now, but anything can happen. There's still a lot of points left to gather for these teams. We see Sona now trying to get out some damage, trying to reverse the pressure here, and the name of the game is honestly the mana bars here on the healers. Maxi finally dropping down a little bit on that mana pool, and Fnobbers as well, but on the flip side, we see Orcs Don't Die. He's gone for a big drink here. Bubblevic now caught up in a full polymorph. They're trying to go after Orcs Don't Die as he has the most amount of mana. That does make sense here. but I think he's going to be fine deflecting with that Earthen Wall Totem. Now, the Touch of Death committed here from Blizzo. If they can get a stun lock and a crowd control onto Boblovic, Orcs Don't Die could potentially go down. He doesn't have his Gladiator's Medallion available for a couple of more seconds, but I don't think they have enough damage and crowd control to finish this one out. Orcs Don't Die actually trying to cast out a Hex in this situation, immediately dispelling as well on that Polymorph on Boblovic. If Tessa can get more crowd control here, maybe with the Dragon's Breath, they could potentially be able to close it. They get the Greater Pyro, it connects. Orcs Don't Die though should be able to stabilize here with that Gladiator's Medallion used. And now Warwick's as well, trying to make his way back to the fight, kind of get a couple of Chaos Bolts out. They really need a Greater Pyroblast, Chaos Bolt with Blizzo to really kill somebody. And now we see Boblovic actually caught up in as an interrupt into the Infernal Stun. This could be the situation they're looking for, Sid.
Yeah, big swap here from Walrix as he sets it up, but that Demonic Gateway allows Bublovic to escape to safety. Blizzo has a Ring of Peace, denying Orcs Don't Die from getting to that same safety escape. Deja is trying to lock the entrance with the Ring of Frost as well. Bublovic gets crowd controlled as he moves back. Greater Pyroblast going to connect. Where's the follow-up? They need a tiny bit more crowd control. Polymorph dispelled instantly. They don't have the crowd control. Orcs Don't Die is going to recover. In the meantime, Deja has spent a lot of time overextended. The Shadow Priest damage over time effects starting to sink in. I'm not sure if they're going to be able to stay this far forward. Divinovic trying to find a kill on Walrix, prevent Mackie from drinking, but Mackie with great portal positioning is able to just escape to safety quite easily. The Retribution Paladin not able to keep up on that chase, instead going back to the team fight and be attacking the Destruction Warlock, looking mostly at disruption on the Retribution Paladin, although with Avenging Wrath up, his damage has increased. This is a dangerous moment for Smoke to Trout if they're not ready for this Retribution damage. Knobber's in position with Mackie. If they can get through the interrupts, looks like they're able to easily and recover Walrix. Now Walrix free, raining down some Chaos Bolts, 2 in a row. Bublovic is interrupted. Trouble for Orcs Don't Die. Plops down the Healing Tide Totem to recover, but I don't think that's going to be enough if they can connect. Bublovic out of the Polymorph. Void Shift from Sona saves the day once again. Bublovic's mana is not looking too good. Likely to see him try and retreat with that Demonic Gateway and find a drink, but during the time that he's drinking, his team will be vulnerable. Jamu gets bursted down in midfield. Pressure spread out finally from the teams. A little bit less focus fire, a little bit more spread damage to try and open up some swap opportunities, as both teams are still so evenly matched. We saw a bit of an early advantage for Smoke Trout, but Bigburstovic has pulled it together. The only thing really not going in their favor is mana. Crowd control on Bublovic, stun on Orcs Don't Die. This is typically a situation where you would expect a ton of damage. Orcs Don't Die gets Ring of Peace away from the Demonic Gateway, but even still, without that safety net, seems to be doing just fine.
Yeah, and Fnobers actually sat down there and got a full mana bar reset there. So that win condition here for Bigburstovic is kind of at the window. Unless they can burst Fnobers down without him using any of that mana, this is a big lead for Smoke Trout. You see Orcs Don't Die as well has a little bit of mana to work with here. Walric taking a little bit of damage, but I think he is going to be able to stabilize here. You can see everybody kind of going over to Orcs Don't Die again. Tassia and Blizzo, that deadly combo of the Windwalker and the Fire Mage, going to be shut down pretty easily by Jamu, doing a great job so far. Honestly, the next time somebody dies, I would like to see a Ninja Cap attempt here. We see Fnubbers caught up in a stun, but easily deflected here by Mackie's Life Cocoon. Honestly, next time somebody goes down on side of Bigburstovic, I want to see that person just go to the lighthouse and hold it and allow maybe Nala or Nala, probably Nala, the only one who can do it, to go over and try to maybe 1v1 Smart Decks. We see a big burst here on Fnubbers. He's gonna live.
Oh, very close call, though. Divinovic is salty about that. Fnobber's escaping with 1% health. That could have been the opportunity for them to take this. Now Bublovic totally tapped on mana. His teammate Orcs Don't Die, the other healer of the team, in crowd control, so he's isolated and getting completely demolished. But despite that, makes a final stand and survives. Close call, but constant battling back from this Restoration Shaman Holy Paladin combo. Was not expecting to be so effective in the rated Battleground scenario, but is looking to be. Jamu relaying the Demonic Gateway, interestingly, towards the middle ramp, which is a lot less safe of an escape than where it was positioned before. I'm wondering if that's so that they can use the Rogue in the team fight, or maybe it's peel out if they need to support, if he's trying to reposition that for a faster path, but he's going to lose a lot of defense. We do see Blizzo peeling out. He saw the Demonic Gateway relayed. Jamu is trying to escape. Are they going to be able to... What are they trying to do with this play right now? Blizzo moving over towards Nala. It looks like they're going to try and go for a Ninja Cap. Nala's there. He can get a sap. He can delay Blizzo quite easily. Fnobbers is very low on health, but making his way across, or at least trying to crowd control the healer for Blizzo to go for a 1v1. This is a very interesting adaptation from the teams. Maybe Blizzo is just getting fed up of that. They want a clearer victory than just 1 point. The saps are over, so Nala will be forced to use something like a blind or a stun. Blizzo isn't able to find the cap. He's now, looks like he's given up that. They were maybe just trying to catch them off guard, but Jama with the repositioned demonic gateway apparently saw that attempt already in the future and was able to support the team. Sona now in trouble though, very low on health, managing to stabilize with the team's defensive line up. If we look at mana, Fnobbers and Mackie are now totally tapped, although their class is highly mobile and more easily able to escape with heal over time effects, healing while they drink. So likely to find mana here shortly as Mackie is taking his back into the fight. Very curious to see if we see Bigburstovic peel off and go for an attempt like that themselves. Or if it's going to really be Smoked Trout in the driver's seat.
Yeah, I think it's going to be interesting. It's really going to come down to creating a little bit of chaos because honestly, Smoked Trout are happy to play the game this way. They know they have the lead and they know they kind of just have to stall it out. And as long as no one dies, Fnobbers keeps going for drinks. Maxi just had a drink now as he gets caught up, but he's going to be able to transcend away and get himself back up to full HP. Nice play there from Maxi. And I think as long as they just keep playing for this win condition of just stalling it out, they're going to be able to win. So they really need to be more proactive here on Bigburstovic and try to juke it out, try to get an uneven split of people, maybe get Smoked Trout to overcommit people to their defense, to their base, and maybe win in Waterworks that way. Potentially, because right now it just seems to me like they lack the potential of actually finishing those kills, and they seem to be more on the back foot due to their healers as well. Boblovic has been out of mana for the majority of this fight, and now we see Sona actually peeling back a little bit. Actually, he just got feared out in the water. He's going to be making his way back to the fight, and we can see now Fnobbers is well caught up in a Hammer of Justice, but Blizzo should be fine for now, Sid.
Oh, Fnobbers is actually running Feral Affinity, using that Rake Stun to stun Sona, but Feral Affinity means you take a lot more damage, and I'm almost wondering if they should be targeting down Fnobbers more with that particular talent selection. Chaos Bolt from Jamma does connect on Fnobbers, so potentially having shown that he's running that could be an opportunity. Divinovic's marching his way over, looking to maybe take advantage of that, but he might leave Walrix over. Walrix stuck into Chaos Bolt, double stun from Blizzo, big mistakes from Bigburstovic, locking down both their healers in crowd control. Still, though, able to stay alive and recover, only at the expense of Bublovic's mana, whereas Fnobbers is sitting comfortably. We see a Hammer of Justice on Mackie, but Divinovic gets Mortal Coiled into a clone, so the disruption denies any sort of connect. Mackie now easily recovers. Demonic Gateways have been placed on top of each other, I believe, at this point for both Warlocks, so that's a bit of a dominance move from Smoked Trout to say that we're just going to use this to finish your team rather than having their own in a separate location for defense. So Smoked Trout, after seeing Blizzo peel away and look for a bit of a surprise attack and a surprise cap, they're definitely getting aggressive. But if you get aggressive, maybe you throw the game away, and they've only got that 1 point lead. At any point, if they get wiped out, Bigburstovic caps his flag, and I think it's almost curtains with how evenly matched the teams are for most of this fight. But we're coming down to what could be the final couple minutes. Bublovic in trouble, barely holding on, managing to recover once again, but the closer we get to that point cap of 1,500 points, the more pressure is going to be on for Bigburstovic to get something going. Polymer from Bublovic, Spirit Link Totem saves the day. Thasia now in trouble with Fnobbers stunned and Mackie If they can keep Mackie out of mana, they make the swap. They're punishing the Feral Affinity, big damage. Life Cocoon saves the day for now, but there's still no mana on the Mistweaver. If they can connect, Fnobbers is in so much trouble at the moment. Divinovic just tearing in, getting polymorphed by Thasia. Thasia gets counterspelled on it, but now he's able to free cast some Grid of Pyros. Orcstone Die is trying to support and snare up Fnobbers and Mackie. Mackie's trying to retreat away to get a drink far away from the battle, but that means Fnobbers is healing the team by himself.
Yeah, and he doesn't have much mana to work with, and if Divinovic can reach Fnobbers, it's going to be curtains for him. He doesn't have any cooldowns really to use at the moment. You see Tessia finally getting some greater Pyroblasts out here on towards Bublovic. He has no mana left whatsoever. That Divine Favor really going to be the last line of defense for him. Tessia, unfortunately, a little bit slow there with the counterspell. He has been doing a good job so far, and he manages to take him down finally with that Dragon's Breath. Now Blizzo catching a couple of Chaos Bolts as well, but he should be able to, with withstand the damage here. Maxi didn't really get much mana, but there's a leaf. It's just spawned, and Maxi took it, and then Shadow melded. He's going to have at least 40% to work with, should allow Fnobers potentially to run away, and then after that, they could potentially clean up this team fight. As we see Jamu now taking the brunt of the damage, Blizzo on that Windwalker doing tons and tons of damage, Orcs don't die, trying to deflect the attack. Tessia with the triple DR, Dragon's Breath, can't get the Polymorph follow-up, unfortunately for him, but he drops a Ring of Frost to zone out of that Earthen Wall Totem's defense. Now finally Polymorph connects, Greater Pyroblast being casted out, Jamu in big trouble. As long as they can shut down some of these spheres, one's going to connect, Jamu might actually go down, gets a big heal there from that Void Shift. Now Sona going to have to activate his Dispersion as well, and it looks like Bigburstovic is finally faltering and going down in this team fight.
Yeah, Blizzo peels out to slow the incoming healer Bublovic, or maybe potentially put some pressure onto that node as well. So very nice adaptation here by Blizzo to try and put pressure on other places while the team is split res. What is Bublovic going to do? Is he going to go and move towards where Blizzo is going, or is he going to go back into the team fight? I mean, he's got a hard decision. It looks like he's going to peel out and support Nala. Can he get there in time? Nala is just getting owned right now by this Windwalker Rogue combo. Bublovic moves over, saves Nala, denies the cap, but the team they're just aborting towards the fight at Waterworks. I mean, Orcs Don't Die is no longer there. There's no healer on the base. How much longer can they really stay afloat? They're still just so far behind. And I mean, at this point, what can you do? Smoke Trout, they're just going to win off 1 point. Smoke Trout, get the cap. And I mean, that's almost certainly game over for Bigburstovic. And this is match point, which means they will go down to lower brackets. Sona getting bursted down. If they can somehow get the cap and pull this back into their favor, maybe. But Blizzo and Smurtex, they're just so much devastation towards Bublovic and Nala, and with one healer out of the fight, Orcs Don't Die crowd controlled in midfield. I mean, what hope do you really have? And you don't have any. Bigburstovic, they're tapping out with members leaving the match. So evenly fought, but finally Smoke Trout able to break through, get ahead, and take the game 2-1 in this series in the upper bracket.